To our podcast. This is day 2 of TwitchCon, and we got more interviews, more coverage coming your way. So today with me, we have Tim, one of the developers of StarCraft II, Legacy of the Void. Thank you, Tim, for joining me.
Absolutely. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Legacy of the Void. So during the TwitchCon keynote conference, you announced a few things. So there was a few announcements. CoOp was one of them. Can you explain more about that?
Sure. We've got a new co-op mode in StarCraft II Legacy of the Void that is very similar to campaign-style missions with objectives where you play as a commander from the StarCraft universe. There will be 6 commanders in Legacy of the Void at launch. And as you play each commander, you'll level up and unlock new units and new abilities.
So with these commanders, is it specifically for campaign and multiplayer, or is it also going to be multiplayer as well?
The new commanders are specifically for this co-op missions mode, which is that new game mode that kind of sits in between campaign and competitive multiplayer, where you team up with a friend and play against a computer-controlled opponent, and you try to beat these mission objectives so that you can level up your commander, basically.
Because when I first saw that initial gameplay, all I was thinking in my head is like, this has to be kind of broken in multiplayer. I can imagine a line of siege tanks, and then like Bailing is going down the path with just pure destruction. So it's been roughly about 6 years since the initial StarCraft II came out in 2010. What has been some of the lessons you guys took away from developing all 3 campaigns for StarCraft II?
It's really fun for me to get to see the design team improve on their craft from release to release, and I think this really is the culmination of all of the lessons learned from Wings of Liberty, from Heart of the Swarm. The new mechanics that we'll see in these missions for Legacy of the Void, I think, are some of the best mechanics that we've seen in StarCraft II. That ranges from the Spear of Adun powers, which are orbital powers that you call down mid-mission from this ancient Protoss arc ship that's in orbit around the planet that you're on, to the specific mechanics of each mission themselves. There's a mission that's kind of a tug-of-war. There's a mission where the base that you build can physically be moved around the map. There are just so many new ideas that it really shows the lessons that designers have taken away from the past games that they've built.
I can specifically remember in 2010, it was funny because like that's kind of how my podcast started, was I made a computer specifically just to play StarCraft II at the time, and it's interesting to see over the years how it's changed and how everything has been evolving, not only gameplay-wise but story-wise as well. So during the press conference, you guys also showed off Reclamation, the animation short that was talking about a bit of the Protoss. Are we going to see any more episodes like that before Legacy of the Void is released?
The Reclamation video kind of sets up the period right before the intro movie for Legacy of the Void, where we see Artanis struggling with some inner conflict, talking with the warrior that we see featured in the intro movie for Legacy of the Void. So it was a chance to give some context on the Protoss race and a chance to set up the backstory for that character. We are going to do some short stories, also delving into Protoss lore around the launch of Legacy of the Void. We don't have specific plans for more animated shorts like that, but anything's possible in the future. So,
my next question is, with this last release of the StarCraft series in terms of StarCraft II, will there be any support for maybe further DLC or maybe supporting the multiplayer after the release of Legacy of the Void?
What I can say is the whole StarCraft II team is going to keep working on StarCraft II after Legacy of the Void launches. So this is by no means the last we'll see of StarCraft. What it is, though, is very much the resolution of the story for Kerrigan, for Raynor, for Zeratul, for Artanis. So, you know, we always continue to support for balance patches and for, you know, season roles with new multiplayer maps. We absolutely want to do more features after launch. We want to think about different types of content, but we've been so focused on just finishing Legacy of the Void that we don't have any specific plans to talk about yet.
So my last question is, StarCraft II has been a big part of esports. It's been a big part of the foundation of like StarCraft II, Dota 2, League of Legends. It's been so far in terms of like where it started to where it is now. Your thoughts on the StarCraft II esports scene and how it has grown over the years?
StarCraft just had some of the most exciting competitive play that I've seen in a while at the Season 3 finals in Krakow, Poland. I feel like StarCraft continues to be one of the most compelling and exciting esports to watch. There was a period where StarCraft was kind of the only esport being played and it got all of the attention. It's wonderful that esports have now grown to the point where there are many different products, including many Blizzard products, that have very active and lively esports scenes. I actually think that's a great thing for StarCraft because it brings more attention to esports in general and I think continues to bolster the StarCraft scene. We had the biggest attendance at our WCS World Finals last year ever. We're seeing more StarCraft events over the course of the calendar year than ever. It's just a very exciting time for StarCraft esports, and I'm hopeful that with the launch of Legacy of the Void, it'll just continue to grow.
I definitely agree. I think that the growth of esports and the growth of how it has grown over the years, I'm very, very happy to where it is now, specifically with StarCraft II for sure. But I want to thank you again for joining me for this interview. Before we go, where can they find you on the internet, and when will Legacy of the Void be released?
StarCraft.com is a great place to go to learn about StarCraft in general. And when Legacy of the Void launches on November 10th, we'll have lots of updates between now and then on the site, but continuing updates even post-launch. So,
thank you. So, there we go. Interview done. Now on to more TwitchCon coverage. But be sure to stick to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/MissionStartPodcast1. Check out for more coverage there as well on our website at missionstartpodcast.com. And that's going to do it for this. But thanks again, and we'll see you guys next time.